Today I'm gonna be playing Kingdom Hearts 2. That's right, the next game in the... Wait. Oh shit. It's not Kingdom Hearts 2. But you already knew that. That's right, the next game in line is actually Kingdom Hearts ReChain of Memories, and I will be trying to complete the game to the best of my ability with only 3 lives. Released originally for the Game Boy Advance as Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories in 2004, it got a remake and ported over to the PlayStation 2 in 2007, and then again in 2013, part of the 1.5 Remix bundle for the PlayStation 3. So today we will be playing that game instead and leave the more cooler and popular sequel for another day. So here are the rules of the challenge. Similar to like an arcade machine, I have 3 lives to complete the game or as much as possible of the game. And once my 3 lives are done, that's it. So let's pop that quarter in and get started and see how far I actually get. We start off with Sora, Donald, and Goofy chasing after Pluto upon seeing that he possesses a letter from King Mickey, and the hope that they can find him and Riku after closing the door to the Realm of Darkness in the first game. Which you guys didn't see because I failed miserably early on. Sora is then stalked by a hooded figure similar to how Puss in Boots was stalked by his hooded figure when we saw how that turned out, and is led to a castle called Castle Oblivion, where anyone who steps in gradually starts to lose their memories. Once inside, the hooded figure then persuades Sora to journey through the castle, reliving his events from the first game as rooms with memories that he possesses, which leads to the tutorial and how the mechanic of the game works. This game isn't too fond within the Kingdom Hearts community, but definitely stands out in being unique and interesting in its gameplay mechanics, because instead of your standard just mash X on the controller to attack, we have to use a bit of thinking here, seeing how you have to use a deck of cards in order to attack enemies. Using the deck of cards is not too complicated though, as the hooded figure teaches us the basics on how to use them, such as using them to attack, how to summon your allies as cards, and reloading the cards so that you may continue to press on in battle. With the tutorial completed, we officially start figuring out what's up with this castle, as the hooded figure encourages us to do so, and as you can already tell, our first world is Traverse Town. This time though, I will not be losing to the boss Heartless of this world, and I will be proceeding on to the next world, which is a luxury I didn't have the first time. But in order to advance through the castle, we have to collect colored cards and a golden card that we obtain through battle that will help us open the next rooms. The card must also meet the number requirement in order to proceed to the next room, so as you can see, this game is heavily invested in Sora putting the cards to use and getting involved in battle much more. And before I get any surprise battles or run into any boss encounters, I save my progress and move on to the next room where I battle a few Heartless and decide what skills to increase after leveling up. Selecting slates unlocks a new ability called Sliding Dash. No, not that, that's a Sonic Spin Dash. Don't worry, we'll get there soon. And in order to use it, I have to stack 3 cards of the same type, whose total number of value has to be between the range of 10 to 15, since it is a strong attack. As I enter a new battle of Heartless, I struggle with summoning the correct cards and stacking them to use my new ability, so I end up losing half my health, dodge rolling a lot to avoiding getting my health down to red, and Donald comes in clutch with the heal. Still, not too bad, so far so good. I level up once again, and this time I pick Combat Power to get a boost in strength and proceed on to the next battle, which once again brings me down to half my health. In the second group of Heartless I encounter, however, is where my health gets a little too close for comfort, but once again Donald comes in clutch and helps me to not lose a life. I proceed on to the next room where Donald and Goofy show up like out of thin air, and the effects of the castle are starting to show as all 3 of them can't seem to remember if they came to Traverse Town with Pluto, and while having a discussion about it, Leon pulls up like Thanos after meeting Wanda in Endgame.
I don't even know who you are.
As he has no recollection of ever meeting Sora, but yet somehow knows his name. Yuffie shows up and explains how Aerith sensed an uncanny power and had Leon and her look into it. Upon meeting Sora, those suspicions are confirmed and heads back to report to Aerith, while Leon gives us another tutorial on how to use the cards more effectively, such as presenting a high number card to your enemy's weaker number card, in order to attack, but if your enemy presents a higher number than you, then your attack is deflected and get damaged by their attack. He also teaches us about stacking 3 cards to reach a higher number that normally you wouldn't be able to with the standard cards, and doing so is a good way to get the upper hand in fights. After completing that tutorial, Leon gives us a symbol summon card for our deck, which I can use in battle to summon another ally that isn't Donald or Goofy, and a golden card which I use to proceed to the next room, where I encounter Heartless, after Heartless battles, until I reach the next room where Leon, Yuffie, and Aerith are waiting. Aerith begins explaining the reason why they don't remember Sora or the past events with him due to them getting fragments of his memories within their hearts that fill them in on things that he knows and feels. Remember, they are in Castle Oblivion and each world is created based on the memories he carries within his heart, so in a way, it is like creating a new reality within the castle. Still, not knowing too much, Sora is encouraged by Leon to explore the rest of the town and find out what more he can of what the castle is about. So with that, I get another golden card and move on to the fighting more Heartless battles until I run into my first close call. This is not good. I think now was a good time to level up my health point, seeing how I almost lost all of it. But still good on my 3 lives, I move on to the next room where I fight more Heartless, and honestly we start to see a pattern here, in which a small event happens, then Heartless battles, and then another event, and so on and so forth. It's a lot of rinse and repeat, but if you enjoy the mechanics, then it's a fun time. We make it to the next room in an all too familiar scenery where we run into Sid, who warns us to run when we hear the bell ring as a huge Heartless is set to appear. And oh boy, do I know too well what he is talking about, because this man right here is the reason I failed the challenge during the first game, but mark these words, I was not going to lose to him in this game. Facing him still proved a bit challenging, but not as much like the first game, and with the assistance of Donald and Goofy, I finally got to defeat him. Let's go. Finally got my get back, bro. That's right, I got my get back. That's for Kingdom Hearts 1. I obtained the guard armor as a card, level up my health points, and Leon and the gang arrive to see Sora off and bid him farewell in his journey to look for Riku and uncovering the secrets of the castle. But as he departs, Aerith has one last piece of wisdom to bestow upon him about how he needs to remain vigilant and not trust on his memories, seeing that they can create illusions of the worlds he's visited and the people he has met. With her exit like the Batman?
Huh?
I saved my progress so far, and Sora continues on and ends up on the next floor of the castle, running into the hooded figure again, as well as meeting one of the coolest, chillest guys in video game history, Axel.
Got it memorized.
And with that introduction, we enter a battle with him. Fighting Axel in this game was fun to me since we get to see his flame ability and how he uses it along with his signature weapons. But make no mistake, he can be quite a tough opponent if you let him be, and me as a witness to this can concur, seeing as I have a few close calls with him but did successfully defeat him in the end.
Give me a break.
Woo. Honestly, I think the most helpful one is always going to be Donald compared to Goofy, but maybe it's the same. With his defeat, I get my first magic card, Fire, that I can use in battle, and Axel states that the battle was meant to test Sora and see if he was ready to conquer the rest of Castle Oblivion, to which he passes and is told that if he follows his memories, that he will find that person that he is looking for. After his exit and a cryptic message to Sora, we get 5 world cards and we proceed to the next room, but first I save my progress and then select which world is the next one to explore, and honestly I should have gone with Halloween Town since it's my favorite, but opted out for Wonderland instead, a decision that would come back to bite me in the ass. But with the decision made, I'm finally in a new world, Wonderland. With his wacky characters and strange looking environment, Sora, Donald, and Goofy do feel a bit out of place despite being under the same banner of Disney. But then again, this is a game about world hopping into the most beloved and iconic stories Disney has ever told with a splash of Final Fantasy. We get our golden card and proceed to just grind by battling countless of Heartless, which seem like forever in this world, and level up combat power to have an extra buff, but finally we make it to the first event of the world. Here we see Alice being put on trial for apparently aiding the Heartless and bringing chaos to the kingdom and stealing the Red Queen's memory. But my boy Sora wastes no time and, like a true gentleman, steps in to defend her and straight up insults the Red Queen.
How you doing, you fat bitch?
No, I'm only joking. That's not what he said, but he does put the target on his back by saying that he was the thief who stole the Queen's memory, and now it's him who gets surrounded and attacked by the Royal Guard cards. Really rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Jokes aside, this battle was no joke, in the sense that this battle has 3 phases, and with each phase I kept using and losing more cards, and the recharge was longer, so when the 3rd phase came around, unleashing a whole army of guard cards, I was moving about the map to get away from them, and recharge my deck of cards as well. Wow, collect a nickel for every time you hear me say card and see how much you have by the end of this video. But as much as I ran around the arena, it didn't go well and I lost the first life of the challenge. That is the first life we have lost. I think this is gonna be just a thing for me. This is too early. Alright, let's continue. I felt confident in myself that during the 2nd attempt I would be able to defeat them, seeing that I made it to the 3rd phase of the battle and all I had to do was preserve more cards and move smartly throughout the map. But even so, I lost the next life, just like that. Get away! Oh my god, no way! Can you get away from me? Oh my god, no. 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 Am I not gonna make it past this world again? Or not this world, but another world? I'm shocked. After losing 2 lives back to back, I decided to take a step back and open up the menu to see if there was a way to give myself a power boost or something that could help me in completing this battle. And imagine my surprise when I realized late that you could edit and create new decks from cards I have collected so far. And after editing my deck and putting magic cards and the Simba summon card that was given to me earlier, I test out the new cards against a few Heartless and realized I should have done this earlier, which would have helped me a lot in other previous battles, because Simba is by far a great summon card, due to the fact that his roar attack hits anything surrounding him and the magic cards are good for long distance attacks. Now feeling much more confident than the 2nd attempt, I know I'm guaranteed a victory from the new deck I assembled. And victory indeed, as Donald, Simba, and Goofy are the ones that come in clutch, and I level up to get a new slate, Stun Impact, which is a good ability to stun enemies for a brief while in battle. With our victory, Donald points out that Alice has escaped during the commotion and the Red Queen does not intend to let us escape, but Sora says, "Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing," and escapes with the Royal Guard cards right behind him. But before I continue to the next room, I go back to the castle floor to heal up, fight more Heartless, which now feels more easier thanks to Simba, encounter a Moogle, and buy new cards to add to the deck. And I run into Alice in the next cutscene where she thanks Sora for saving her, while the Cheshire Cat appears and tells the crew that it won't be as easy as they think escaping the Red Queen, as she is persistent. Cheshire Cat disappears and we move on to the next cutscene where we run into the Red Queen again for a 2nd time, and this time she catches a stroke or something and can't seem to remember things properly as the Heartless boss comes down from the ceiling like Spider-Man and the next boss fight begins. No. This is technically going to be the last one. No! Okay. I barely did nothing.
Freeze! Fire!
No! Please. Get on top of the chair. That's right. Third life. I really thought I was gonna make it much more further in this game than the previous one, but technically I did make it further than the first time I did this challenge, since I moved on to a new world. But rules are rules, and with the 3 lives gone, that is it. That is where I end the game. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more of these games put through this challenge, subscribe and leave a like, and I will see which game is up next.